Hi everyone, it's Mr. Weaver, and today I'm going to show another Makerspace video. This one's going to be on what is called a Craig jig, and it actually is a pocket hole jig, which I'm going to teach here and you'll see once I get some holes drilled. But whenever you're joining wood, there's different methods for how you can put it together. Maybe I want to make this go like this. So I could glue that together, but that's not very strong at all. I could try to put a screw from this side into this side, which could work, but then I'm screwing into the grain, and that's not very strong. But a pocket hole is a nice little angled hole into the wood, and from the inside, if you're making something like this, you wouldn't see the screw at all because it's hidden on the inside. And that's what a pocket hole jig does for you. It keeps the angle of the drill bit perfect for you. So you can use different thicknesses of wood. Most of the time you're going to be using 3/4 of an inch thickness. And so on your jig, this little system here comes in and out to clamp your piece of wood down. So I'm going to stick my piece of wood in and line it up with these holes up top. Those are where my drill is going to be going down. Here's my drill bit. And I'm going to clamp it so that it's just snug. I don't want it too tight and I don't want it too loose, just enough to clamp that in place. Now I'm going to open up my chuck, get my drill bit in. The important thing on pocket hole jigs is this little stop here. It's called a depth collar. So you can move this up and down and tighten it with a little Allen wrench right here. When I loosen this up, you're going to see that this drill bit fits right into here, and it goes almost down and touches that blue. It doesn't touch the blue, it's very close. So I already have this set at the right depth. So now when I put this in and clamp it, I'm going to hold it firm and I'm going to drill through here. Now the tricky part is you want to make sure your drill bit is lined up with the little cylinder, the tunnel that it's going through. If you have it at a crooked angle and it's not matching the angle of the thing, you're going to kind of make the blade dull up. So you want to try to be straight, and the best way I think to do that is to get it spinning slowly right as you put the tip in. And now I'm good. I can see that I'm good. And then all I do is I'm going to go full speed on the trigger. Notice how I went down until it touched the collar and back up. And I'll do another one. One more. Unclamp. And now you can see here I have these nice little pocket holes. And what happens is I'm going to stick a screw in here and it's going to come out right in the middle, and I'll show that in just a moment. Alright, so now that I have my pocket holes, I want to attach it to something. So let's say I'm going to this piece like right here. Okay, I'm going to make a 90-degree joint. So I want that to go right through there, the screws to go right through and right into there. So now you have a little bit of a tricky decision to make. Which screw do I use? I have 1.5 inch screws and 1.25 inch screws. What you'll notice is that they are flat on the bottom. Okay, that's called a pan head. It's not tapered like some screws make that angle and then come up. It's flat and then comes up. And that's so it sits tight and smashes the one piece of wood to the other. These have a square bit, these Craig screws, that's the company, it's called Craig. And the square bit fits right into the screw, kind of holds it for you. Sometimes you'll clamp these pieces of wood. In this case, to demonstrate, I'm not going to do that. You might even add a little bit of glue there. I'm going to hold this here. And I've already measured, I know that the 1.25 is, but to show you, I'm going to go like this. I'm going to drill it through. And now you can see this piece from the side. That screw will not pop through the face of this wood, which is what you want. You want it to go almost as far as it can without coming through. This longer screw would have popped through. So now I'm going to back this screw up. And you should always test a piece of scrap before you decide to go with your final piece, just to make sure you have it correct. Now that I have this, and it sits right in the bottom. I'll kind of go a little more in detail in person about how you set the proper torque so you don't spin it too fast and strip the threads. But if I did that again, you know, one screw in something still makes it allowed to pivot, and we don't want that, so we're going to put another one in. And now we got a really strong joint. You don't see the screws from the outside, and that's pretty solid. And that's how a lot of furniture is made. That's how most cabinets are made. And it's just a very good method for attaching two pieces of wood together. And so you'll be using this a lot if you're going to be building cornhole boards as 8th graders or similar projects. And there's also other types of Craig jigs. This one is good for a stationary setup. This one here is good for a mobile setup, like maybe you're outside or you're going to a job site. And it has this little stop here, but it's the same type of thing. You slide your piece in, and it comes with a little clamp, and I clamp it down. And then from here, I can use this, get it in a safe position. And notice how I made those 2 holes again. And there's actually a slightly different depth I might want. I can tell I kind of came through the end there, which might be okay depending on what I'm doing, but that's why you always test first. And to test, all you have to do is put the screw in and either screw it in or push it down and see that's how far that one would come out, which is too much for this piece. But if I was going into, say, a thicker piece of wood, then that might still be fine. So whenever you come to the shop and you're going to use these, you'll get a personal tutorial. But this just kind of gives you a little bit of background information on how to use pocket holes to make nice, strong connections with wood, known as joints. And that's it.